With the long-term goal of growth and prosperity, Debswana's past, current, and present strategic visions remain imperative to its daily operations. Being the largest private sector employer in Botswana, with over 5,000 employees since inception, the mineral wealth of the country has been used to strategically grow and develop the economy of the country.
Tshwane Mine particularly has been the global leader in social performance index score. And that goes to show that it's not just how we see ourselves, it's also how the world sees us in relativity to our own people. So our diamonds are on the opposite side of what conflict diamonds are. We are on the opposite side of what blood diamonds are. That is our blueprint as Tshwane.
So we have sound governance principles, sound ethics, sound policies and procedures. If we're to look at the matrix of responsibility between management, the subcommittees of the board and the board, this is a well-governed organization, and it has provided the perfect platform to allow innovation, new thinking, successful running of the organization. Board is left with strategic direction, and management is required to manage and run this organization. There is no unnecessary interference. It's a very well-run system. So that's a key one.
Our people as well have contributed. We have some of the most dedicated people in this company. When people work for Debswana, you will hear them speak of how they are dedicated to helping everyone have a better future in Botswana. And so people work really hard in this company to make this company what it is today.
Debswana owns and operates 4 diamond mines, being Orapa Mine, Letlhakane Mine, Tshwane Mine, and the Damsa Mine.
It's really an organization that is premised on good, sound governance. The matrix of responsibilities between the management, the subcommittees of the board, and the board is very, very well structured. So, that allows for freedom in terms of management, in terms of running the organization, which has allowed for the results that we see in the organization today.
Debswana's core values are at the forefront of its activities, these being putting safety first at all times by considering the risks involved to the people and environment before any activity begins. Zero harm is always the goal.
The Safety and Sustainable Development mandate in Debswana is really tied into our commitment, which is to play a leading role in the success of Botswana through our sustainability performance. We have 3 key focus areas, which are safety management, occupational health management, and environmental management.
Being passionate about the precious mineral they mine and sell, seeing every challenge as an opportunity instead.
We are the richest mine in the world by value, and value doesn't come from just a diamond. Remember, a diamond is just a hardware. It's a stone. You give it value with your attitude, the attitude and the manner in which you mine it. And that is why I say, in terms of safety, we are currently sitting at a total recordable injury frequency rate of 0.05. That's among the best in the world.
Pulling together people of diverse skills and experience to strengthen the output by being united in purpose and action.
Over the years, we've trained over 1,500 artisans so that services like your equipment maintenance, equipment refurbishment, they're all done by citizens.
Ke simolotse mo dikonterakeng tse di dinyenyane go simolotse ko bokamoso engineering ke le operator ke le labor hire mo mine wa Debswana ka tsena mo Debswana ka 2008 mme ha ke bereka mo Debswana maikutlo a me ke ikutlwa ke le motlotlo thata go berekela Debswana ka botswapelo ka bopelo telele le boineelo gape ke itumelela go bereka mo Debswana ka gore ke berekela lehatshe la Botswana ke berekela bana ba lehatshe la Botswana ne amuso ya lehatshe la Botswana bana le bana ba rona.
Building trust by being transparent, listening, then acting with openness, honesty, and integrity to ensure their relationships flourish.
Our relationship with our community members is very important to us. It's a focal area of the Social Way program, which includes stakeholder engagement as a requirement. What we've seen in the past is we have been able to maintain a very good relationship with our community members, and we respect and support the structures that are already existent in our communities in the way in which we communicate. What we continue to improve on is having really good, meaningful stakeholder engagement that allows for two-way communication for community members and ourselves within the host community. What we've realized is in the delivery of our Social Way program, the feedback that we get from community members really actually is important to how we structure and design our projects. Because some of them can impact the areas in which they live, draw water, and even do their farming in. What we realize is it's important for us to be open, transparent, and have a really trustworthy relationship with our community members. It continues to be strengthened, and we look forward to really developing this and creating resilient relationships with our stakeholders in our communities.
Showing they care. By doing right by the people whose lives they touch, the communities and environment, by being conscious of the consequences of what they do. Ensuring that their contribution to the world is one that they can be truly proud of.
You know, we focus on our people. For instance, our communities, relationship between us and our communities, which is why we have an international measure called the Social Performance Index to measure our relationship and interface with the community. We also have an interface through our Botswana Mine Workers Union with our people. So the key focus that drives our value of show we care is what makes us unique.
Our objectives have been successful, but it's still a journey. There's still more that we still need to do as a company, and the communities continue to give us feedback on how we can improve that. We work with them on a regular basis. On a monthly basis, we engage with different stakeholders to find out how we can improve as a company. We also have our complaints and grievance processes where we're able to find out what issues communities have with us and also the proposed suggestion on how we can actually address them. So it's a journey we're excited to be on, and we're looking forward to working with communities to actually improve or increase our impact.
Lastly, Debswana aims to shape the future by finding new ways to reach demanding targets through tough decision-making, considering all risks to achieve this, all while insisting on execution, excellence, and rewarding those who deliver.
Debswana's contribution, we are happy as a ministry, and I think as a ministry, on behalf of government, we are satisfied that Debswana has done, and it is a company that is professional and well managed, and it is a company that responds to the demands. I recall the days Debswana was asked to ramp up to 35 million tons, and they did that because at the time the market was good and diamonds were selling. So I think Debswana's limitation to some degree is based on what the market limits them to do. But other than that, we are quite satisfied that if we put pressure on them, the company responds accordingly.
We have lots of opportunities and challenges, and it's about saying how do we connect the need of Debswana to the need of the country? How do we bring the youth to a platform where they can register their skills and abilities such that we can piggy bank and pull them in as and when we need them. Not necessarily meaning employ them, but we start giving them opportunities within our business.
With the vision to maximize shareholder value, providing the opportunity to the government to reach their national agenda of growing and improving the social status of the people and the country. Debswana has ensured that the country's mineral wealth has benefited the country immensely. Botswana's first diamond mine, Orapa Mine, has been one of the world's safest and successful mines through its operational excellence for more than 50 years.
We have efficiency improvement programs on our mines to look at better ways of doing things compared to how we did things in the past, which makes us more efficient. We're improving our maintenance practices, we're improving our operations and productivities, because at the end of the day, for you to be a great mine, you need safe operations, you need highly productive operations, and efficient and low-cost operations. And us as Orapa Mine, that is our focus.
Debswana's second mine to open, located 50 kilometers from the Orapa operation in central Botswana and discovered during the sampling evaluation of Orapa, was the Letlhakane mine in 1975. Ceasing open pit operations as planned in 2017, the mine now operates as a process tailing plant, extending the live operation to 2043 and producing over 800,000 carats per year, all while ensuring seamless continuity and no job losses.
We, over the years, have been evaluating and looking at various technologies that can improve the way we do things. And clearly in 2000, we had a breakthrough in terms of the technologies that we introduced in our business, which meant we kind of optimize the number of people that we use in the business, but we have higher efficiencies and higher product security. That's a significant achievement.
The Jwaneng mine is the flagship mine of Debswana, producing approximately 12.5 to 15 million carats per year.
Jwaneng mine will remain competitive against the global mines because we stay true to our blueprint. The blueprint of diamond mining is one, absolute zero harm to your people and to your communities, and of course to the environment. That's number one. Two, the governance in which we mine our diamonds, it's world class. We are accredited against the world class standards, Kimberley process, ISO OSHA certification, and that goes to show you the integrity of the product that we mine.
Jwaneng mine not only contributes 60 to 70% of Debswana's revenue, but within its mining lease area boundaries is the Jwana Game Park, accommodating almost 2,000 animals, including a unit of Cheetah Conservation Botswana.
We are going to leverage from the game park that we have and partner with communities to turn it into something bigger than Madikwe, if you know what Madikwe is. How do we provide water to make sure that we support agrotourism? How do we leverage from the Trans-Kalahari to make sure that people leave their money at Jwaneng when they pass to Namibia or to other parts of the world using the Trans-Kalahari? That is the vision.
Debswana spared no expense on truly educating and nurturing the future of the nation. These scholarships have afforded children and the youth of Botswana to acquire the best education possible to ensure diversely knowledgeable and capable leaders of tomorrow.
A lot of the jobs that have been done by Botswana now, all our mines are managed by Botswana. That time they were all managed by white expatriates. So that's where we have come from. So that's why, from the very beginning, when education and training became important, that's why it was made free. From that day, till today.
And if we look at Botswana and the skill set that we have, both from a mining perspective, from a processing perspective, from an admin perspective, in a vast range of areas, the one thing that we have to do is to see how do we package those skills and set up a business in such a way that we can use that knowledge to drive the economy. It could even be outside of Botswana, such that you're bringing revenues back into country. So I think it's something that we've got to work on with some deliberate effort as we go forward.
In 2001, Botswana became the first company to fully subsidize and provide all its employees living with HIV/AIDS with antiretroviral therapy.
HIV was just such a big deal. You know, we were seeing periods of employment absolutely going down. Absenteeism was a big issue. The health of our employees was very, very poor. And as an organization, we took the decision that we were going to provide free antiretroviral treatment to our employees, their spouses and children. And I think the exciting thing about that is that it was recognized on a global scale. And very soon, the government of Botswana followed suit. So something that Botswana has done has basically permeated across the world in terms of this is the right thing to do. I've often heard people who are employed in Francistown by other organizations refer to the fact that they're going to have their baby at the Orapa hospital, purely because our standards of taking care of people are so high. So it is a hospital of choice. It is the go-to place. Both of our hospitals probably see up to 100,000 patients a year, so it's pretty significant.
Between 2004 and 2007, Botswana's diamond sales records went up by 34.9 million carats, accounting for a near 66% of the entire output of the De Beers Group and becoming a signatory of the Kimberley Process Certificate Scheme.
As we moved on over the years, we increased our production levels, and as a result, our revenues grew. We were able to give much more back to the government of Botswana, and so in there, we saw the improvement in hospital services, in social services, education, roads, telecommunication, fiber optic cables, internet expansion in the country. And from a Botswana perspective, our focus was very much on how to become more efficient as an operation. We went through a difficult period with the 2008-2009 recession, and there were significant learnings for us. So our focus at a point in time was how do we achieve more with less? We focused on cost containment, revenue improvement operations. We went through a period where we looked at how do we strengthen our standards, how do we put Botswana in terms of operating capability on a global platform. So we aligned in some global best practice standards from a safety perspective. We engaged in best company to workforce surveys. We had significant focus on our organizational capability, on how do we really drive employee engagement and up the level of their own contribution into this organization. We continue to evolve the strategy over years. For some time, our strategy was referred to as a high-performing organization. And here we reached out to an organization called My Lens, where they do global competitor analysis, and they look at perhaps our shovel in Jwaneng or in Orapa, and we see how that shovel compares on a global scale in terms of efficiencies and utilization. So we went through a period of just upping the standards in the organization right across, from hospitals, schools, dentistry, MRM methodologies, safety, you name it. In more recent years, our focus has changed to that of focusing on the culture of the organization. And of course, we face new challenges going forward.
The Jwaneng Resource Expansion Project involves delivery of an indicated resource estimate down to 850 meters below surface, supporting mining operations such as key expansion operations like the Cut 8 and 9 projects. The Cut 8 project would become the main source of ore for the Jwaneng mine and extend the life of one of the world's richest diamond mines to at least 2033.
As Debswana, when we look to the world and we look to perhaps where other organizations have gone to, we can't run away from the fourth industrial revolution. It has provided such disruption, but at the same time, it provides such huge opportunity for us because we have to operate at a much lower unit cost. We have to be able to fund the significant expansion projects. So here I'm talking about Cut 3 in Orapa, I'm talking about the current Cut 9 project in Jwaneng, and I'm talking about post Cut 9 in Jwaneng. So that will either be a new cut or it'll be an underground mine. So there may be a few projects, but they run into billions of pula. So we need to be able to fund those projects internally, which calls for our current operations to be much more efficient. We need to monitor the utilization of our equipment in a way that we've never done before. We need to embrace the Internet of Things. We need to embrace artificial intelligence. We need to embrace a whole new learning environment. Our assets need to be connected.
The year 2012 saw Botswana's first state-owned diamond trading company, Okovango Diamond Trading, commencing operations with 10% of Debswana total annual production, progressing to 15% over a 5-year period.
We have a strategy and a plan that we have already set up a business intelligence department just to look at a mine of the future. Mine of the future, I mean, whereby we can leverage from technology, from digitization, from connectivity and efficiency between organs of the operation. And once you have that business intelligence and you know what's going on, you are able to do more with less. And if you are able to do more with less, you become more competitive.
We have a drilling program that goes through areas that are below where we are mining now, so that we can begin to have a window of what will we encounter in future. That is very, very important, because when you understand the rock types that are to emerge in future, you begin to now use that information to inform what your processing plant must look like, what your mining approaches are going to be like. So that way, we are able to then design efficient or extraction efficient ore processing and diamond recovery, looking at the materials that we are going to be treating in the future. That in itself then gives us a competitive advantage. We also continuously analyze and understand market dynamics, because at the end of the day, it's about understanding what the consumers want, to the extent that then you tailor your product to what the consumers want.
The Jwaneng Mine Aquarium Plant has a completely automated recovery plan and a fully integrated sort house, the first of its kind in the diamond mining industry.
The millennial out there, or the consumer, or the prospective consumer who could buy our diamonds, wants to know what our environmental footprint is. So there is pressure for us to ensure that we operate with a much smaller carbon footprint. We have to invest in biodiversity. We have to invest in our planet.
Being the groundbreaking company it is known to be, Debswana opened the first ever diamond museum at Orapa Mine to showcase the operational excellence that has transformed an entire nation from obscurity to one of the fastest developing countries in the world. With well over 50 years of operational excellence, Debswana continues to pave the way as an industry leader and trailblazer in the mining industry.